Hey neighbors, it's your favorite next door girl, Davina, and I am here today to talk to you guys about the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you are a fan of this show, if you have been watching it from day one, comment down below so I know who my OGs are. Let me know your favorite character. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Let me know if you agree with me. Even if you don't agree with me, that's what neighbors do, right? Sometimes they just talk and share opinions and gossip. Okay, so let's just get right into this episode. The episode stars with Marceau and Maurice at the site for Scott Manor. They are trying to get up this hill. It has been raining in Alabama like crazy, and they just can't get traction on the truck that they're driving, which I thought was pretty funny. And at the same time, I also it brought me back to my hometown of Buffalo. So we have the same thing happen to us at times in the winter with the snow. You just can't get that traction to get up the hill, or hell, even get down the street. So yeah, that was fun. Marceau starts taking little digs at Maurice because Kimmy doesn't want to move on the property that the family purchased for these homes to be built. And Kimmy doesn't want to move. Kimmy is like, no, thank you. I love your family, but separation needs to be involved here. And this goes back to Kimmy's sister-in-law, Tisha, who is Marceau's wife. But we'll get into that in a minute. But just know that I'm not going to call it a love-hate relationship. I'm just going to say it is a very complex relationship, to say the least. Marceau then goes into Tisha, his wife, wanting to hurry up and get started on the building process, but she's also continuously changing the plans for the house. So Marceau wants to hurry up and get started so that Tisha can't make any more changes. I can't wait for the day that I can build my house, but I am almost positive that has to be a headache to constantly say, yes, this is what you want, and then change it. So hopefully I am not that difficult of a builder or a customer to the builder when it's time for me to build. We're going to move into Melody and Destiny talking at Melody's new house. Melody is saying she is single, the divorce is final, and she's happy about that, but she's just not ready to date yet. She wants to continue building her empire. She wants to spend time with her children. And I completely understand that, because dating can, I don't know if I want to say it gets in the way, because I don't have children, so I don't know the difficulties of dating with kids. But right now, because the divorce is so fresh, I think she does need to give it a moment so that she can make sure her children are okay, make sure her businesses are okay, and just go from that. Now, Melody is one of my favorite characters at times. Her voice sometimes can get on my nerves a little bit, but I could see me being friends with a Melody and a Kimmy, actually. Those two, if I lived in Huntsville, I would probably be friends with. Destiny announces that her divorce is final. Now, with Destiny, it was kind of shocking watching that, because she literally had been married just under a year. Well, from the last season, it was just under a year, and they had a baby. And I remember her complaining about her now ex-husband not really doing a lot with the baby, but I just thought that came with new parenting. And Alabama, those southern states, States, a lot of times men feel like that's women's work. And I mean, I'm not going to say I get it, but if I had a baby and I'm breastfeeding, why would I tell my husband to get up in the middle of the night? What is he going to do besides have to wake me up? You know, it's just things like that that I think about. And who knows, if I was to have a baby, that can change. Again, this is coming from someone who does not have kids. So let me remind you of that. I don't have children, so my thoughts and views on that may be a little tainted, may be a little off, but that's what I'm thinking right now. If I was breastfeeding, it would be. Now, if I'm not breastfeeding and it's a bottle, get up. You can get up, buddy. You can change a diaper. You can do all of that, and you will be okay. So, you know, that's just my thoughts. Destiny then brings up the fact that Kimmy was trying to get the tea without getting the tea, saying, oh, we heard this, and where's your husband been, and what's really going on? And Destiny held everything close to her chest. With her and Kimmy, I can definitely understand her doing that because they weren't really friends. So if I'm not really friends with you, why am I bearing my soul to you? You know? Get to know me and then let me open up to you about that. Don't come to me asking me questions, because it's going to make me feel like you're just talking to me to get the inside scoop on my life so you can go back and talk about it. And that's not right. I would prefer someone to genuinely want to tell me something as opposed to me trying to pull it out of them. What y'all think? What do y'all think about that? Kimmy shows up at Marceau's office with his meal prep. I did not know Kimmy was a caterer, but kudos to her. That woman can do it all. And that's the type of person I aspire to be. Someone who can do it all and be good at everything I do. I know she's in real estate with her husband. She was a registered nurse and now a caterer. So brava Kimmy. And then Marceau asks her to help plan his wife's graduation party. Marceau. Now, you know good and darn well that Kimmy and Tisha have this love-hate relationship. Why would you ask this woman to help you plan a party? Now, if you wanted her to cook something, say that. Don't ask her if she wants to help plan the party. There's a difference between asking someone to cook something and asking someone to help plan it. Like, no, I don't know if I will have sister-in-laws getting married, but if we don't get along, I'll show up to family events. I'll be cordial, but helping plan something, I'm gonna have to talk to Jesus about that before I just go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to help with something like that. But I don't think the person I'm going to marry will have sisters, because inside track. So at the same time that this is going on with Marceau and Kimmy, Tisha is at a shoe store with her cousin, Kiki, I believe is her name. Now, y'all, if you watch this show, listen, those family genes between Kiki and Miss Wanda, you would have thought that Miss Wanda spit out Kiki and not Tisha, because they look exactly alike. I mean, Kiki looks like a younger version of Miss Wanda. It is excuse me, it is unbelievable. It's uncanny how much they look alike. It's wow. So they're talking. Tisha says that she thinks that Marceau was planning something for her because she can't be surprised, but she's not gonna say anything. But you just did. You did just say something when you said something to your cousin. You know, I think if your husband is going through the whole attempt to throw you a party, let your husband throw you a party. And that be that. That's just my opinion, but you know, who am I? And congratulations to Tisha. Let me just say that. Congratulations to her, because she is graduating with her second master's degree with, I think, 3 kids and a husband who doesn't feel like he needs to babysit and, you know, take care of the kids. He feels like his job is to get up and go to work, and the wife is supposed to stay home and do all of that. So I definitely commend her on graduating, because I am 1,000% sure that was a tough task to complete. We're going to hop over to Destiny's hair store, and Martell shows up. Martell is not one of my favorite people. He has not been one of my favorite people since season 1. Martell and his cheating and his babies outside of his marriage and not wanting to take accountability for his actions, and everything is everybody else's fault. I'm not going to say it's a trigger, but it rubs me the wrong way. The wrong way. And I'm sure it's a lot of women that can relate to that, whether you watch the show or not, because my goodness, is that a headache. But anyways, Martell shows up at the store, and him and Destiny talk about how he's doing since the divorce has been final. And they bring up a post that Martell put on Instagram regarding his daughter with Melody starting her first day of school. And in the post he said something like 4 down, 1 more to go, or something like that, and he's referring to the child he had outside of his marriage, which caused him to get a divorce from his wife. I don't think that was Destiny's place to say something, because it's not your ex-husband. It's not the father of your children or anything like that. Now, granted, yes, Melody was upset about it. I remember seeing her post back when it originally happened, but that's her feelings. You know, everything is not for everybody. You don't need to say something every time something happens. You know, I understand Melody is your friend, and I go hard for my friends all the time. But me personally, if my friend divorces someone, I divorce them. You know, business is business. I would let my friend know, hey, your ex-husband is coming by the store with these products, but we keeping everything 100% business. We don't need to talk about personal lives or anything like that. But fast forward a little bit, and Martell goes into Martell mode, talking about how this is why you're getting a divorce, because you got all this mouth and men don't like that, and yada yada yada. Sir, you don't like it. You don't like people to talk about your business. If you don't like people to talk about your business, stop putting your business on social media, because you give people, damn near give people permission to talk about it when you put it out there. Once it's out there in the world. Period. Anybody can say that. I have been told that from the time the internet, I'm aging myself here, but from the time the internet became a thing, once you hit send or enter or whatever, it's out there for people to form their own opinions, for people to take the picture and do what they want with it, for any of that. So don't put it out there, and you'll give people less of a reason to want to or have to talk about you, because they won't know what direction to come from. So they talk about that, and then Martell switches the conversation back to the products that he's pushing. It's a black-owned company, and I believe it was skin and hair products. And he says to Destiny, yeah, I'm going to be an owner of this company. I just haven't signed the contract yet. Say what? Say who? You ain't signed the contract. Now, neighbors, anybody knows, any and everybody should know, nothing is in stone until you sign a piece of paper to say, I am this percentage of an owner in this company. I am this percentage of an owner in this company. This is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. This is that. Without that, now I'm not saying don't go ahead and push the product, because if it's a product that you stand behind and it's a black-owned product going into a black-owned store, I'm all for that. But you're not an owner until you sign the paperwork. We're too old for that. Well, I'm almost an owner, or I'm almost this, or I could have been this, and yada yada yada. Who does that? So you got 5 kids, an ex-wife. I'm not sure if you have to pay her alimony. None of my business. But you got 5 kids. That's a lot of kids. You need to know, I'm an owner of this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. This is how my income is coming into my home. This is what I can do for my children, etc., etc. That almost an owner is not cutting it. Hopefully when he left that store, he went back to that young lady who owned the hair care, skincare products, and said, yes, we need to get this in writing. Because if he didn't, I'm going to leave that alone. Melanie is having a meeting with her publicist, I believe, and a couple of other people, her international publicist and someone else. And brava to her and to any other working mom out there. She was having a meeting, holding her baby while her baby was asleep. Now, do I believe that was just for show? But that's just me. And I could be wrong. I could be right. It's just ironic to me that you have your children in the office and the baby is sleeping. I'm not going to touch that. So, yeah, she was holding her baby. It is a boss move. It does show that women can do it all. Women can work. Women can be moms. Women can be great moms. Women can be great bosses and get everything done at the end of the day. I am not taking that away from her. I just think it was product placement. Sorry if I'm wrong on that, but that's just how I feel. A young man by the name of Chris shows up, who Chris and his wife actually were friends with Melody and Martell when they were married, trying to help save their marriage and things of that nature. So excuse me, he's also in real estate, so it wasn't surprising that he showed up. The reason for his visit is what took me back a little bit. It was like, oh, okay. They were having a conversation, and he says to Melody, you know, I would like for you to build some home. I would like Melody Holt Incorporated to build some homes for these 47 acres. Now, the 47 acres, let's just jump back to season 1, is the reason that all of these couples, Marceau, Tisha, Maurice, Kimmy, Melody, and Martell, were all coming together. They had purchased these 47 acres and they were going to develop it into a community, build houses for first time home buyers, have it be a place that Black ownership can happen for home buyers and things of that nature. And I thought, excuse me, I thought that was a great thing. So after the divorce, the 47 acres had to be sold because I believe Melody and Martell purchased it, and then everyone else was just going to buy in and things like that for everyone to get a profit. So Chris wanting Melody to build homes was like, oh, okay, you want to take a chance on her, and things like that. That's great. Women bosses, I love it. I love Melody's response. I love the fact that she said, does Martell know about this? Because Martell buys homes as well. So she didn't want any unnecessary drama or unnecessary hostility between her and her ex-husband, seeing as since they still have to co-parent these children. So I do respect her for that, and I thought that was amazing. Chris did say that he brought it up to Martell, but I don't think he was very clear on the whole, did Martell know, did he not know, and things like that. So that was a little up in the air for me as far as if he knew. But Chris did end that conversation saying he would make sure to have a conversation with Martell to make sure he understood that Melody is or could possibly be building homes for the 47 acres. Now we get to the last scene of this episode, which is the surprise graduation party for Tisha. And she shows up like, oh hey y'all, okay. Prior to Tisha getting there, Kiki and Tisha's brother, T-Rex or Dinosaur or something like that, I'm not trying to be funny, but I can't remember the young man's name, they pulled Kimmy to the side and start questioning her about her not having Tisha's back in season 1. This was years ago. You questioned her about something that happened in season 1 during the reunion? For why? What does this have to do with the price of tea in China in 2021? But, they're saying both of the ladies they were asked a question about if they talked about Melody behind her back. Tisha said no. Kimmy said yes. And they feel like Kimmy should have lied to protect Tisha. But for why though? Why am I protecting her? Yes, we talked about that girl behind her back. Why am I? Just be honest. So they're pushing. And Kimmy pushed back and was like, but do you think we were talking about Melody? And they say yes. So Kimmy was like, so why would I say no? It doesn't make any sense to me either. But moving on, Kimmy definitely stood her ground. I felt like even though Miss Wanda wasn't there, Miss Wanda was there. Because my God in heaven, why are we talking about this? Why are you having a conversation with me about Tisha and Tisha not having a conversation with me? That's how nothing gets resolved. That's exactly it, because we going into this whole he said, she said, they said, we said, and it's stupid. It's dumb. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. It's not the brightest thing to do. After Tisha gets there, Kimmy pulls her to the side, and Tisha goes into this whole, well, my expectations were this, because Kimmy and Maurice were the last couple to actually get married, and Tisha's expectations on what they would be like as sister-in-laws, because Tisha doesn't have a sister. You know, I'm just like, we doing a lot of talking about you. If you never have a conversation with somebody about what their expectations are, you can't project that onto somebody. You could want to be the best of friends with your sister-in-law, and your sister-in-law could be like, I'll deal with you when I have to. You know, it's that was weird to me. And Tisha talking about, well, I'm letting it go. Well, if you're letting it go, you need to tell your brother and your cousin that. And you need to stop talking about it every chance you get to anybody who will listen. That's not letting it go. You can't say you're leaving something in the past if you keep bringing it up. It doesn't work like that. You got 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees. You should be a little smarter than that, and you should know that. So I just, it ended with Kimmy telling her, I love you, but this got to stop. And I don't blame her at all. It has to. This is childish. Tisha wants to start crying, saying, I want this type of sisterhood with you, and yada yada yada. It's becoming too much. And if I got to deal with this all season, I'm gonna finish the season though. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult for me to get through the season. So that is my wrap up, in my opinion, of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 3 episode 1. I thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you come back and be a part of the neighborhood. I enjoy new neighbors. I enjoy old neighbors. If you like this video, if you want to see more, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, neighbors.